Okay, so if you remember that I have told you that in NER, if I give a particular sentence, so basically that NER will tell me that which is the particular person, or what is a particular, whether it's a monument, it's a place, or it's a name of a person, stuff like that. Okay, so NER stands for named entity recognition. So NER stands for name entity recognition. So basically it will identify all the name entities, and the name entities, like, it will tell you that whether it's a group, it's a group of people, whether it's a place, whether it's a country, whether it's a thing, and etc. So basically there are many things that it tries to classify. So these are the basics one, and this NER is improved for each library. Okay, so NLTK is the basic library that was for the first time that, so for the, this was the first library that was discovered. So the NER is not powerful, but when we go to more libraries like TextBlob, Spacy, then we will understand, okay, NER can be a more powerful tool with the more advanced libraries. Okay, now let's try to do a practical session on this. So let me convert this in. So everyone, the first thing what we have to do is we have to import NLTK. Of course, that is the first step that everyone knows. The second thing what we have to do is we have to download the model. Okay, so we have to download the model, and the model, now here we have to download two models. The first one is NLTK dot download. There's something called as maxnet underscore any underscore chunker. This is the first thing that you have to download, and the second thing what you have to download is the word. Okay, these two things you have to download. So for me it's written true, this means that this is already downloaded. For you it will be get downloaded. So I will just copy this and paste in a chat so that you can also write the same thing. I have given the text also, which I will be using for this particular example in a chat box. Okay. So the first thing what you have to do is, it's always the same, that you have to do a word tokenization. And can anyone tell me how to do a word tokenization?
Son, I am getting error when downloading Maxent Me Chunker. It is saying
Yeah,
that
even I am getting an error.
Like said, okay, it's not ME, it's NE. Okay, for me, I think it. So let me also check first. That, okay, it's MaxNet NE, not ME, it's NE. Just a small change, and then try. Now it's working.
seems working, like downloading that is.
Okay, okay. So it is NE. Okay,
Yes,
so I
it's
will
me.
just update in the chat. It's NE. It was a typo error from my side. So this is the thing that you have to download. All right. So can anyone tell me that how to do a word tokenization in LTK? Suppose
First, we
NLTK
need
dot.
to Punk we have to download, right?
that is see, these all the libraries know what you're downloading. These only required. These should be downloaded only for the first time. Okay. So if you have
Okay.
downloaded, then next time it is not required. So if the punk is already installed or it's already downloaded, then it is not required. Okay.
Then directly NLTK dot to what tokenizer of the data.
Yes. So basically, I will do it words here. So NLTK dot word
For
tokenize,
tokenize
and I will
and
pass the sent here inside
sent,
this.
yes.
Okay. After doing this, I want to do a POS tag. Then what I have to do? Part of speech tagging basically for each words. So what I have to do?
nltk.pos tag.
Yeah. So what I will do is I will use a POS tag equal to nltk dot POS tag, and inside this I will pass the words. Now here comes the not a tricky part, you can say, but so basically when you have to do NER, that is name entity recognition, first you have to do this, these steps you have to follow. Okay, this is the first step. I will write here step 1. Then after finding the step 1, you have to do step 2, where step 2 is POS tag. This is compulsory. Okay, you have to find a POS tag, and then we have to call something called as any chunk, name entity chunk. Okay, so name entity is equal to nltk dot any chunk, and inside this you have to pass the POS tag. You have to pass the POS tag variable. Okay, so POS tag. So once you have done this, the only thing you have to do is you have to do print name entity. Done. When you run this, the name entity will be shown to you. Basically, India, Republic, India, and then South. Okay, so basically what is happening is this is India is considered GP. GP stands for geographical positioning. Okay, geographical location, where Republic is the organization, and South, that is given by South Asia. South Asia is nothing but a country. So it's basically it's a GP, that is geographical location. Okay, so this is what NER tries to do. Okay, so you can put date, time, also everything, so it will try to identify. Okay, let's try. So South Asia, June 200806. Just trying. Okay, it should work basically, because in Spacey, in other advanced library it works. Let's see, let's try to see here. Okay, so no, it's not working here. So basically it's not giving that this is a date or not. So I will just go with May. Okay, so it is not identifying the date because this is of course analytical library and it uses a very basic model. But the basic function of NER is to identify that which is a geographical location, which is the organization. So see here, Republic is nothing but an organization, right? Then India is what? GP, geographical location. South is also a geographical location, and it tries to identify this kind of stuff. So if this is understood to everyone, so can anyone tell me the advantage of this NER?
So we can distinguish with the name propagate.
Okay.
Extract data according to places, names.
Okay. Okay. So let's try to think like this. Okay. Now suppose you have built a software. Okay. You have built a software, and in the software backend you have kept a log. Log is the record of everything what is happening on a website, if you know that. So log is try to record everything what is happening in a website. Now what can happen is that your website can be accessed from different location, right? Because if that is a popular product, it can be accessed from different locations. Now your job is to find that from a log, of course, from a log. So log is a big text file that is there. So you have to identify that which all locations, from which all locations your website was accessed. So what you can do? So what you can do NER, and you can just extract all the GP locations. So by the GP locations, you'll understand, okay, India, then South Asia and stuff like that. So other countries have accessed my particular site. So you can get an insight about this, that your site is getting popular in which countries. So this use case will clear to everyone what I'm trying to say. So like this, you can create a number of use cases depending on what problem you're trying to solve. So this NER is clear to everyone. Anyone has a doubt?
So whatever it identifies, it is in the bracket, right? So otherwise it will not be in the bracket.
Yes. So whatever it identifies, it is inside a bracket. So basically what you have to do is based on your requirement, you have to just write a query. That's it. the Python query to extract a particular thing, and that's it. The work is done. Okay.
But as you said, it will show us like location information, but we have to send it like we need to write it in the frame like we are giving a string. So there needs to be update like this is India, Maharashtra like that. So it will give us the information about locality, right?
Yes, yes.
So this is only on the use case like if we are giving the input then only it will show.
Yes, yes, of course. So yes, you have to give the input. Of course, this sentence will have the input, and then only it will show. Yes. So
Okay.
basically, here it will be a log file basically. So you have to read a log file somehow. You have to show in a variable, and you have to pass it. So reading and writing, I think you know enough how to read and write from a file.
Mm-hmm.
So that thing you have to pass here, and it will. So you can try without any document. Just take one string from Wikipedia. Just try to put it and try to see that what all things you can do. Although what I'm saying is NLTK is not a perfect for NER, but this is a first step. Okay, so I will tell you that there are more perfect libraries for NER,
Okay.
which is more perfect. But this is the first step. So this was the first library, right? So yes, so these are the cons and pros of this particular library. The only advantage is that the function is very easy to call, but that the disadvantage is that it is not perfect. Okay, the accuracy of the models are not good. So this is a problem with NLTK. But the concept of NER is clear to everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Now, one more thing that they have given is you can visualize these things. Okay, so I don't know whether it will work in your laptop or not. So named entity. This is for just a visualization. Okay, I don't think this is a compulsory, but just to tell you that there is something called as name entity draw. When you do this, some dialog box will get popped up, and this dialog box will show you in a form of a graph. Okay, so basically GP is nothing but GP is nothing but India. Then organization is nothing but Republic. GP is again India, and GP is South Asia. Both are GP. So you can identify with the help of graph also. Just tell me if this is working in a laptop. Name entity dot draw.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this name entity, the function which you are calling, sorry, the variable which you are calling, just do dot draw, and that particular thing will be drawn on a laptop. So basically, a new window will pop up be- in most of the cases, which I know, and it will work. So this is nothing but a name entity recognition. Okay. So yes, anyone has a doubt in this, or it's clear to everyone in a chat, please?
Afsan, what is that S that is there in the beginning?
That
Uh,
that S is just to tell you that this is a name entity recognition. That's it. Nothing else.
okay.
Nothing else. None of our this concern of this S. It has to just give that particular thing. That's it. Okay. Great. I think it's clear to everyone. So now let's move to something called as frequency distributor. Frequency distributor. So frequency distributor is nothing, just a small code. So suppose if I'm typing that India is officially the Republic, so India officially the Republic of India is a country in South Asia, June 11th May. So what frequency distributor will do is it will try to count the number of what that is occurring. For example, if I want to know India is occurring for how many times. So India is occurring for how many times? So India one, two, so two times, right? So frequency distributor will tell me that for how many times that particular thing is occurring. So to do that, the first thing what you have to do is you have to first import the library, and the library is NLTK import. There's something called as frequency distributor. So FREQDIST. If I'm not wrong, this is a library, and let's see. Okay, so basically my thing is running 96. So I will just kernel interrupt. Basically, if that draw thing is still there, no, so your Jupyter notebook will not work. So you have to cancel that cross thing. So basically, that's why I have done that. Yeah. Okay, so this you have to cross, and then only it will work. Now, once you have done this, So first thing what you have to do is, see, for every step, the word tokenization is important. Word tokenization is important. For every step, word tokenization is important. So what I will do is, I will just copy this particular word tokenization. Okay. Then what you have to do is, you have to pass the words in a frequency distribution. That's it. So FREQ equal to just the library that you have called, that is frequency distributor. Inside this, you have to just pass words. Your work is done. Now search for any word and it will try to give the frequency. That's it. Okay. So print, just type FREQ. So basically there are 15 samples with 19 outcomes. So basically there are 15 unique samples and some words are repeated. So there are 19 outcomes. If you want to see a particular word, suppose I want to see the frequency of a particular word and the word is India, but I have told you. So the word is India. If I run this, so India is repeating 2 times in a particular sentence. This is what frequency distributor tries to tell you. Everyone just try this. And one more thing, what you can do is, there's something called as freak dot plot. Okay, so you can plot the graphs also. So if I do freak FREQ dot plot, the freak is nothing but the variable that I have taken. Okay, if you do plot and run this, so it will give you the, in a graphical way, we try to tell you that India is repeating how many times and comma is repeating how many times, officially is repeating how many times, the is repeating how many times. So basically this is a graphical way just to give you that what is the frequency of the word. That's it. Okay, so basically this comma is repeated 4 times. So 4, India is repeated 2 times. So just draw a line and yes, India is repeating 2 times. Officially 1 time, the is 1 time, republic is 1 time, and stuff like this. Okay, so this is what a frequency plot does. This is a frequency distributor. Now what kind of applications can you plot from this analytical library? Okay, so if you see, if I go on Google, if I type word count, if I click on, so see, this is a very simple application based on NLTK. So basically what you can do is, you can create this kind of application. Of course, you need a web knowledge also to create this kind of application. But what I'm saying is, suppose if I type something, I am a good boy, for example. Okay, so see on the right hand side, so what is trying to give? I am a good boy. Number of words are 5. So how it's calculating number of words behind the scene?
Tokenizing the word
Tokenizer.
and
Yeah,
then length
tokenizer,
of
and find the length of the sentence and done. How many words are there? It will give the word tokenization. How many characters? Just try to do your basic Python things. Okay, how many sentence? What they are doing behind the scene?
tokenizing the sentence.
Yes, tokenizing into sentence. Now, I have told you about frequency distributor, right? See, they are doing the same thing. So good is repeated how many times? 1 time. So it's 1. So basically they are trying to find out the percentage basically. So good is 1 time and boy is 1 time. So good and boy is 1 time. Why it is not showing for I am and because they have, what they have done behind the scene?
Stop words. They have
They
removed.
They have
remove
removed the
that
stop
one.
words. Exactly,
Stop
right?
words.
So this is what you can do. Okay, so this is what a basic application of NLTK. So you can use a basic application of NLTK according to your particular use case also. So this is a very use case. This is a very good use case which I see that, okay, with the help of a small analytical library, you can create a useful application like this. Okay, so basically when you when you type a letter, so basically you count a number of words in a letter, right? So suppose the word limit is 100. Why not let's create a software, and that software will calculate number of words instead of I am sitting and calculating 1, 2, 3 and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a this is one of the application of NLTK. So this is clear to everyone. So based on your different thinking, you can try to advance this application based on your thinking. But this is a basic application where NLTK can be used. Although NLTK is not a preferred library because we have more advanced libraries, but yes, this is what you can do. So NLTK library is clear to everyone. Anyone has a doubt in this?
It's clear.
Clear.
Okay, great. Now let me go to my PPT. Let's see if I have PPT ready with me. So,
Afsan, one doubt.
yes, yes.
Okay, suppose I have another string. Okay, in that string, it's saying that find out the organization name and what is the count of the product. Okay, so this will find the details about it. I know that organization can be found, but the count how will be found? Because see, last time also we seen that if ABC is there, after that one product name is ABC, little bit space with XYZ, then it will not consider that as a product, and it will show as a one as two as ABC, and one as zero as XYZ.
Yes, got you. So basically, what we'll do is, so we will clear this in a Spacey and other libraries. Okay, so that will be more clear.
Okay.
Okay, because I understand, because this library is a bit not perfect, as you can say. So there are many issues, but yes, in the other libraries you can actually get what you are thinking. Okay, so all the things are possible in the next library that we are teaching, that is text block. Okay. And if that is not covered, then you can ask me again, I will tell you. Okay, so I think it is covered in the future libraries, because so basically you're asking that
What I'm asking, just printing, just a moment.
yeah, suppose you give a string
Like this.
so you're giving something in the chat.
Because it is big. So,
Okay, create a model which can, okay, like I want to one cappuccino and two flat with, okay, yes, this is a string. Okay, I got it.
so this is the string. By the organization, we got to know that with the block. But if you want to find out the item, if you say that one item, I can say that immediate beside the number is cappuccino.
Okay.
If
Got
it is
it.
come to 2, okay, we'll found the 2. But if you see the immediate string
Flat.
is flat only, not flat
Yes.
white.
Yes.
So that is the reason. Yesterday I was trying, but I couldn't get it.
So basically you have to extract all the list of items, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yes, so basically you can use this NER, but the only thing is you have to train that on a product. Okay, so this is in any NER is not possible, but in the future libraries, for example, text block, what you can do is you can train your own model also. So suppose what you can do is, suppose this is assume that this is a hotel item. Okay, so what you can do is you can give, so suppose let me open my this.
Sorry,
Just
I'm
a small
interrupting you.
suggestion. Okay, so suppose there is a pasta, there is a coffee, and just try to give 4 to 5 things. Okay, and mark this as what this as eatables. Okay, just this example. Okay, just example. So basically you have to train this model, and whenever now your model sees cappuccino stuff like that, so you will tell that okay, cappuccino is a eatable thing, like India is saying GP, right?
Okay.
So for that you can but of course you have to train the model for that. The hard coding thing will be a tricky part, as you have said, that if I try to see that after one cappuccino is there and after two flat is there, so hard coded thing, that will be not a possible. So what you have to do is you have to train a model on that.
Okay. So you are telling the first we have to train a model, then we
Yes,
will
first you have
get
to create a model. Yes.
Okay.
And
Sorry. Train a model, and then we will do tokenize all the things. Then it will we can get it to the out.
Yeah, train a model. Okay, train a small model, which I will show you in the future class how to train a model. Okay, just try to train the model, then do a word tokenization.
Okay.
And pass each word to that model. So what the model will do, it will tell them whether it's a eatable or not a eatable. Okay. So
Okay.
wherever it is showing eatable, just try to give that word and yes, your work is done. But the thing is, you have to train a model to do it
Okay.
in a deep learning way
Okay. Okay.
or in a machine learning way. Okay, so yes. Okay, so the next library that we're working on is something called as text blob. So let me show open the PPT again. Text
Afsan,
blobs, yes.
this sentence, I want one cappuccino and one flat white from CCD.
Mm-hmm.
If there is some input mistake, like we have given a spell mistake or else something else, so if is it possible to capture that also with the model?
Yes. With NLTK, no, but with text blob, yes.
Okay, so is there any other model we need to run or write, train like that?
Yes, so basically the training of the model is not allowed in LTK. The training of the model is not allowed in text block. But
Hmm.
when you move to the next library that is Spacey, yes, the training of the model is allowed. So I will tell you how to train a model basically. So you have to.
Like you said, if we create one model to
Mhm.
extract the eatable and non-eatables
Yes.
and the quantity also, like one cappuccino, so quantity is one and cappuccino is eatable. So if there is a in spell mistake in cappuccino after extraction, then it should be like giving us highlight like this is what you want, or else are you willing to say cappuccino like we
Yes.
get in Google?
Got it. So basically, if I show you this library, so this is, see, there's something called a spelling correction. Okay, so this library, so this particular function you can use. So basically what will happen is, so when you're doing Google keyboard, what happens? When you type a wrong word, three suggestion comes,
Hmm.
right, on the top.
Yes.
So that same thing this will also do. So I will tell you. Okay. So
Okay.
this is not possible with NLTK, but this is possible with text block. So that's why there are many pros and cons which are other library which are solving. Okay. That's why I'm doing one by step. So what you're asking will be solved with this particular library.
Cool.
Okay. So yes. So let's try to see that. And I think when we move further, it will be more clear. Okay. So in a text block, these are the features that they're trying to give, which NLTK doesn't have. The first feature is noun phrase extraction. So basically, noun phrase extraction, what it will try to do is it will try to extract all the noun phrases from a particular sentence. Okay, so this is the one thing that they have given. The second is part of speech, which was already there in NLTK. So yes, part of speech was there. Then we have something called a sentiment analysis. So what they have done is they have trained a model behind the scene. So basically what you have to do is you have to just give the data and the model will be trained automatically. So you don't have to do a hard work of uh, pre-processing and stuff like that. So they have done behind the scene everything for you. But I will just show you the demo, but we will try to solve this end to end in the future classes. Okay. So my aim is to teach you that what they are doing behind the scene. But for now, what we'll do is we'll do a quick process what they have done. So basically we have to give the some text and it will tell that whether the model is whether sentiment is positive or negative. But in future class, I will tell you end to end development of this, what they have done behind the scene. Same for the classification. Now, this is what I liked about text block is there's something called as language translation. Okay, so what you can do is you can build a language translation system with the help of text block. So you have to just put a text like Hindi, English, and so you have to convert. So suppose you have to convert from Hindi to English. So just push the text, and in the some other parameter, just type the language in which you want to convert, and it will do the translation for you. So now with the help of text block, more application can be created, like Google Translation, what they have done behind the scene. You can create your own application also. Then tokenization is the same thing, splitting a text into words and sentences that everyone knows. Word or a phrase frequency that NLTK also gives, correct? Parsing, n-grams. This I will teach you in the future classes, n-grams. Word inflection. This is also important thing, which you can create one more application. Spelling correction, like you are telling that if some spelling is wrong, so you should get a suggestion, right? That whether which all top three priority spellings are matching with that. So yes,
Yes.
and add new models or language through extension. So you can add a new models here or of your own in this particular extension, and WordNet integration. So I will tell you WordNet integration as we proceed further. Okay, so these are the functionality of text block. So So let's try to see each functionality in the in a practical way. So everyone just open a Jupyter notebook and let me give this as text block. Now, the advantage of using text blob is that you have to download the model only once. Okay, it is not like NLTK that for each and every functions you are downloading a single model. For example, for this particular for this NER, you're downloading NLTK.download words, maxnet.any chunker. Then for other purpose, you're downloading some model. The advantage what they have tried to resolve here is, which is a problem in NER, NLTK is that you have to call model each and every time for the new libraries, right? But in text block, you have to call once and your job is done, okay? So the first thing is how to install, right? So what you have to do is a simple step, pip install text block, that's it, and run this. So your library will be installed. So everyone just install the library that is text block in a system. The second thing is you have to download the model, and you have to download the model only once here. That's it. You don't have to call again and again like NLTK. So how to call a model? It is Python -m text block dot download corpora, and that's it. If you run this, so for me it's finished. Downloading is finished. So I will just copy this, paste in the chat. So you can just download this particular corpora. So this is nothing but a model behind the scene that they are using. That's it.
So this is a model where we will use this model for the develop the any of the NLTK, right?
Not NLTK, the text block.
Text block, sorry, text block.
So basically what you will see is whenever you do download corpora, so it is downloading everything. It is downloading PUNKT, it is downloading WordNet, so it is downloading everything at once. In NLTK, we have to call each library again and again, right? So this is the advantage of using text block. So you don't have to break your head and just to you will not get any error on this. So this is what they are trying to do behind the scene. That's it. Just improve version, as I said. So this is what they are trying to eliminate. So everything is the average perceptron trigger that you have called in NLTK is already called in this particular library only. So all the things what you have called there is called here also, but all together. So it's everything is done in at one single step. You don't have to call everything again and again. So have you done these two steps, everyone? So have you downloaded the text blob and then the corpora?
Yes.
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 Okay, great. So the first thing you have to of course import the text blob. So importing. Then from text blob, import text blob. Please note that the first text blob T and B is small. Import text blob T and B is capital. Okay, so try to maintain this, otherwise it will throw an error. This is what they have done behind the scenes, so you have to call like that only. Okay, so once you have done this, so what you have to do in text blob, suppose this is a text. Text equal to, you have to call the function, and inside this function you have to pass the text. Inside this function you have to pass a text. So what I will do, I will write a new text, that is data is a new view, for example. And if I run this, no output is coming. Now what they have done is we have to call a particular function for that. So for the word tokenization, let's go for the word tokenization. So for the word tokenization, you have to just do text dot words. That's it. Text dot words and run this, and text tokenization is done for you. So the word tokenization is done for you. Data is a new field. The same thing. So basically the advantage here is that you have to pass the sentence inside text block and just take this variable or object, you can say. Basically this is an object if you know object oriented. So text block is a library and text block is a package. Okay, so basically, yeah, text block is a, you can say yeah, yes, you're correct, Nikhil. So text block is a library and the text. So what is the difference between library and a package? Can you tell me first, Nikhil?
Okay, so library is collection of the all the packages or
Okay.
any type of extra variables or whatever the things are required. But a package is specific to one point. Okay, suppose if you see that if you have a baggage in simple language, the baggage, if you pick that brinjal, so it will give you the brinjal is a package. Out of that, you will get it which type of brinjal.
Okay, great. Yes, so text is a
I don't know
library and
that is the
text
correct or
package. No, it is correct. It is correct. It is correct. But have you tried to create your own package anywhere?
I did it in Java, but not in Python.
Okay. So basically, so let me do one.
Means I think it contains collection of functions in the package.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So basically, if you have done a coding, so basically what happened, this text block is nothing but a particular function inside this particular file. That's it. So text block is a file where text block is a file name, and text block is the name of the function, that is name of a class that they are calling inside. So this is what they are doing behind the scene. Okay. So basically, there is a file called as text blob.py, and inside this file they have written a class, and the class is text blob. So if you know the concept of class, this is what they have done behind the scene. So basically you are calling this. So from the file that is text-blob.py, so this is the library what you're talking about, and this is a particular package, nothing but a group of functions, and this is a function that you're calling. So this is what they are doing behind the scene. So see, if this is a class, then of course you have to call an object. This you know, Nikhil?
Yes, we can
So
call
basically what they are doing is they are doing def init.
Def of text init. Okay.
Yeah,
Constructor.
it's a constructor, right? So
Yeah.
that's why they are passing this.
Yeah.
So this is what is happening behind the scene. And then they're trying to return something, and this is what they're returning. So this is nothing but this is what they are calling. So text.blob is a file name or the library name, where text blob is the group of function or a class, you can say. It's clear now?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. So text.words will try to give you a particular word list. Okay, this word list is a data type that they are using behind the scene. Okay, for example, for list, the output is list. For tuple, the output is tuple. So they have made their own data type, and that is called as a word list. This word list is nothing but a list only, but in a text block, they are trying to give their own data. That's it, or a data structure, that is word list. So it works same as a list only, but the name is only changed. That's it. So the next thing is sentence tokenization. Inside text dot sentences, that's it. If you do sentences, okay, sorry, just run this and you will get a sentence tokenization. So if I add more lines, suppose data is a new fuel, sorry, not fuel, and let me write something as simple is better than complex. Let's see this. Yes, now see, data is a new fuel and simple is better than complex. So these are two sentences. So when you do text the sentences, it is trying to divide into two particular sentences. That is, this is the first sentence and this is the second sentence. So of course, if this is given, then you can use a for loop. So for sentence in text dot sentences, So always you can use a Python skills to extract a particular sentence. Suppose this particular thing is not pleasing to your eye, so what you can do use a for statement, then print sentences. That's it. Run this and see sentence one, sentence two, and this will go on based on your particular sentence. So word and sentence tokenization is clear to everyone with the help of TextBlob library, of course.
In this word tokenization, it is not taking full stop as a different word, which it used to take in NLTK.
Yes. So it is not taking this as a word, and if I put question mark, so that is not. So basically, they are trying to remove internally behind the scenes.
Okay.
Yes. So they are trying to remove all the punctuation behind the scenes.
So they remove the punctuation.
Yes. So data is a new field. Let's put comma here and let's try to see. Okay, so this is what advantage of a text block is. So basically what happens in NLTK we have to do, but this is a common thing, right? So suppose I have given a sentence. So word tokenization will what is the meaning of word tokenization? It will try to tokenize into word. But in NLTK, what they are trying to do, they are even tokenizing the punctuation also, which is not in the form of, which is not a correct way. So text block has tried to rectify that particular thing here. Is clear now?
Yes.
Yes. So that's why I'm teaching all the libraries step by step. So you will understand, okay, now why this library is important than others. So this is the main purpose of teaching you all the libraries one by one. So the sentence tokenization and the word tokenization is clear to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Now I have told you that we can do a part of speech tagging also here, the same thing. So what you have to do, just do text dot tags. That's it. And if you run this, you will get a part of speech tagging. It's same. Everything is same. Just the function is different in NLTK and the function is different in text block. So you have to just do text dot tags. That's it. Now, one thing also I have told you that's called as noun phrase extraction. So how to get a noun phrase extraction? You have to just do text dot noun phrase. That's it. And this is a noun phrase extraction. So data is nothing but a noun, name field is nothing but a noun, simple is nothing but a noun.
Afsan,
Yes.
in this word tokenization,
Mhm.
just can you scroll a bit up? Yeah. So after this fuel question mark, if I don't give a space, I directly write a continuous sentence.
Mhm.
Then what it is doing is it is giving fuel question mark simple as a single word.
Yeah, same as for me also.
Yes.
Fuel dot simple as something like
Fuel dots. Okay, so if I'm putting question mark here and simple, I'm removing the space. Okay, if I run this.
if we don't give space between
it
fuel
will.
and simple, yeah.
Okay, so can
It,
I put a text on the chat box?
Yeah, this is what you have written as right.
Yes. So basically, it is doing for me. It is doing for me. So I don't know. So
You just run that row number 30 because I think it is happening at everyone.
yeah, because so see, I'm running row number 30. Done. 32 is written. 33. For me, it's working.
even for me, I just wrote like fuel dot. Then there was no space. Directly, I write like simple is better than other sentence.
Like
Then the
this.
in text, yeah, in text sentences, it is giving me only one sentence. After giving space after dot, like after full stop, then it
Okay,
gives me
okay,
two
got your
different
point, got your
sentences.
point, got your point, got your point. Okay, just tell me one thing, okay? Just tell me one thing. Uh, Suppose if I'm typing ABC dot ABC, this is a particular. So you're telling that okay, if I'm putting dot and when I'm putting like this, yeah, I'm getting a single word. But if I'm doing question mark, I'm getting a different one, right? This is what you're saying. So I will tell you what they are doing behind the scene. Just tell me one thing. Have you seen any word with a question mark? What I'm saying is, have you seen something like this? So suppose my name Afsan, question mark, and Afsan. Have you seen something like this anywhere? So what it's trying to do is, so it is a machine learning library, right? So it is trying to identify, okay, this is a question mark. So by mistake, the user have written not written the space. So that's why let's try to do the word tokenization. But now tell me about this. Afsan @gmail.com. Now tell me. This is a single word, right? Yes or no?
Yes, it is
So
considering as, yeah,
yeah,
got it.
this is what it is trying to do behind the scene.
Yes.
So when you do this, so it will try to understand, okay, it is a two different word, but you're doing this. So it becomes one single word, right? Only, right? So they have done the coding behind the scene like that way only. So this is what is happening here. Nice, clear to
Okay.
everyone?
Yup.
Okay.
Yes.
So yes, let me run this. This is a non-phase extraction that everyone knows. Okay. Now let's go to word inflection. Word inflection is nothing but just converting your word from a singular to a plural form. That's it. So word inflection. Let's take a sentence. So sentence equal to text block, and if I pass a sentence, use four spaces. Use four spaces per indentation level. So this is a text that I'm putting. You can put any text of your choice. Let's try to do a sentence dot word for this. So once you have done this, so this is a list, right? So if I want to extract this particular word, how to do that? If I want to extract this particular word, so how to extract a particular word?
Sentence
the
of
index.
2.
Yeah. So basically, not sentence of two, sentence dot words of two, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. So that is a spaces. Okay, that is a spaces. Now if you want to convert these spaces into singular form, what you can do is you can do singularize. So singularize, and just print this, and it will be converted to space. It will be converted to space. The same thing what you can do is you can do you can call a function called as pluralize. So for example, if suppose there is use, let's take this word. So this is a 0 index, and if I change this to this is a uses. Let's go with indentation. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's put here 4, and it is indentation. And let's put 4 here. It is indentations. So this is what it's trying to do. This is what a singularize and pluralize tries to do. A simple thing. So this is what a word inflection is. Okay, now let's try to move to something called as stemming and lemmatization. So can anyone tell me the difference between a stemming and lemmatization? A quick revision.
Stemming will convert a word into its stem form, which may or may not be useful. But lemmatization will convert a word into its root form, which will be a meaningful word.
Meaningful,
Exactly.
yeah, correct.
Exactly. Yes. So let's try to do the same thing. Okay. Now, sentence and lemmatization works with word, right? Everyone knows. Yes. So what you can do is, so from text block, import word. Now what you have to do, just q equal to word, just call that particular function, that is word, and inside that put one suppose lions, but just a okay, let's try to put history. Okay, the famous word which we have seen in the last class also. Let's put history. Then what you have to do is you have to just do q dot stem. That's it, and run this. And okay, q dot word is not defined, so it is words. Okay. So it is history. HSITORI. This is history. Okay. Now let's try to do the same thing with stem, with stemming. So with lemmatization, of course. So not stemming. So lemmatization. Lemmatize. If I run this, the word is history. So what you have to specify there? So I have told you that you have to specify something. Suppose if I am doing history, if I am okay, so if I do run here, if I am doing running here, run this, run this, run this. So see, I'm getting running here, but run and run here. So I have to specify something, and what is that? Just try to do shift.
EOS equal to
Part of speech.
Exactly. You have to put a part of speech as verb, because the action that we are talking about should be in a verb form, right? So what you have to do is just do shift tab, and you will see that part of speech by default is none. Part of speech by default is none. So you have to put the part of speech, and how to put a part of is very easy. So just do V. Here also let's do V. V stands for verb. Okay, so let's do it V. Let's do this V. Now try to run everything. This is run, run, and run. So the part of speech is very important. Okay, so if you want to get a same action, let it be a past tense, future tense, or present tense. If you want the same word, you have to put a verb there. If you're putting by default as a noun or none, it will give you different words. So my machine learning model will understand, okay, this running is different and run is different, which is not a correct. Okay, so that's why we have to convert everything into a root form, so that my machine learning will understand, okay, these all three words are same. It is not different. Just only the action is different, but I don't care about. I only want to know the word. That's it. So this is what a lemmatization does. The concept is same, just the function is different. That's it. In LTK, we have some different function. Here we have some different function. That's it. So this is clear to everyone. Okay. Now the one more thing which I liked about text block is that you can create a number of application. One application that I have told you is that okay, I have told you now. Let's see. You can create a part of speech tagging, then you can extract a particular noun from a particular thing. This is a one use case you can draw. Then you can create one more application where if you type a word, it will give you the plural or singular form. This is the one application you can do. Then of course, stemming and lemmatization, you can talk about the action. Suppose you can ask user to give 5 words and it will give the common action for it. So you can just do stemming and lemmatization. And one more thing is you can create your own dictionary also. Create your own dictionary. So basically what you have to do is you have to pass word. Inside this word, you have to pass one particular word. So suppose let me pass something length. And if you want to see the what's a dictionary, it has to give the meaning of that particular word, right? So dot definitions. That's it. And run this, you will get a definition of this. So you can try to create your own dictionary also, a dictionary application, where a user will put a word and you will try to give all the possible meaning of that word. You can type with any word, okay? And of course, that word should be there inside their model or database. So if you have to write something, so if I put circle, let's see, circle is coming. Yes, the definition of circle is also coming. So you can create your own dictionary with the help of this. This is clear to everyone. Just try this with your own some few words and tell me if it's clear or not. So all the functions which I have covered till now is clear to everyone in a
Yes.
textbook. Oh, Now the next thing which I again like about this is something called as spelling correction. Spelling correction. So this, some people are asking me, right? So if there is a spelling mistake, then what to do? So this is a perfect library for that. So suppose if I type text block and inside this, can you pronounce? So still I don't know the spelling of Czechoslovakia. I don't know how many people of you know that spelling of Czechoslovakia, but I don't know. Frankly speaking, I don't know. So what I will do is I will write what I interpret. Okay, so I will write CZECUS Slovakia, right? Slovakia, and I will put a question mark. Now I don't know whether the spelling is correct or wrong. Still I don't know whether the spelling is correct or wrong. So what I will do is I will just do G dot correct. So if it is wrong, it will correct automatically, which happens in your Google keyboard also. So let's try to see. So if I run this, so so it is converted to an. Okay, so you pronounce Czechoslovakia. Okay, this is the name. That is, so mine was different, but it is trying to give me a different name, or proper name basically. So this is what it's trying to do, a spelling correction, but it is becoming harsh now because it is doing this can also. So if I try to, now it is working perfectly, okay, because it wants in a lowercase. When you give in a lowercase, it works perfectly fine. And this is, it's trying to give me a correct spelling. So I don't know whether this is the correct spelling or not, but people who are good in English, so this is the correct spelling of Czechoslovakia, which is trying to suggest me.
Yes.
Okay. So if I type that, what is the longitude, basically giving the correct, giving the wrong spelling, so that let's try to see if it's correcting or not. So what is the longitude?
Son,
this is
why if it is the first letter is capital, it is correcting that also?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. If you put C capital or can, it changes to an.
So here, like, can you pronounce Czechoslovakia? When we give C as capital, why it is correcting the can also? So that
basically, we will see that why it is right to correct off, because basically behind the scene, it is basically they have done some type of coding. I don't know, but we will check. There's something called a spell check. We'll check with that, but it is trying to give me the suggestion. Okay.
So can you just try with that? What is the longitude also?
Okay. So see, it is trying to change. That is a longitude. So yes, it is working. So we will check this. Okay, there's a function to check that why it is giving like that. I will tell you. So basically, it should be in lowercase. Okay, that's how it works. So it should be in lowercase. Everything should be in lowercase. That's why I've told you that. In NLTK also, I've told you that the first thing what you have to do lower, then you have to try to give the particular thing into a particular function. So I think this is what they want behind the scene. So this is a spelling correction. Now, in a Google keyboard, what do you see? You see, yes, if you write something wrong, you get a 3 options, right? On the top. Yes or no, everyone? Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can get here also. So what they are doing behind the scene, they are running a model and they try to give the best possible answer. So let's type k equal to word, and let me type some word, that is longitude. Let's try to see what are the possible words for this. So what you can do, there's something called as k dot spell check. K dot spell check. When you run this, so longitude is the only word which having the higher possibility of 1. Okay, so longitude is only the word which is you getting the highest possibility as 1. Let's try to change it. Let's try to put that great. Now these are the options that you get. Okay, so these 3 options. So great, the possibility of being great is 0.53, then get is 0.3, and grew is 0.11. So this top 3 suggestions you get in a Google keyboard. Okay, this top 3 suggestions you get in a Google keyboard. Now let's try to put can. Let's see that what suggestion is why it is trying to correct me. Now when you do can, you can see what a possibility that is trying to take, and which has the highest possibility.
And
So that's why it's trying to correct can also. So when you do can, let's see n, this has the highest probability. This is what is happening behind the scene. Let's put what here. If I run, so what w, okay, so it's not w capital, it's, so this is the possibility that is trying to generate. So what is the which is has the highest possibility or the probability, you can say basically that, right? So that's why it's trying to convert to that. So basically what this is doing is taking each word, is trying to check the probability, which has higher probability, is trying to give that particular answer here. So this is what is happening behind the scene. Now it's clear that y for small and y for capital is given two different things.
that I understood, but it's
I
like
got
a
your
kind
point. So
of
basically, yes.
because
So
if it is the starting of the sentence, it will be in the caps. So I think it should not be correcting that.
yes. So I got your point. Yeah, but this is how what they're doing behind the scene. Yes. So again,
Okay.
not a perfect library, yes, of course, but yes, but it will help you. Also, suppose it will help you for other use cases also. This use case not working, but it will help you for, suppose you're typing some word like Czechoslovakia, which you don't know spelling. You create an application and it will give you the correct spelling for that. So yes, again, I'm saying that this is not a perfect library because yes, like you pointed out, not working fine. So yes, we have other libraries to work with this. Okay, so yes, I
But
got your
maybe
point totally, and yes.
we can work with like Python functions. We can able to do it properly.
Yeah, so see, you have to, so for every problem there's a solution. So if this is not a solution, then you can work with the Python coding also, and you can get a solution. Yes, yes, go ahead.
So I was just thinking for the previous library when we were doing NLTK, changing the text to lowercase was one of the steps, right? So is that what we're supposed to follow here also?
Yes, so in a starting also, I also said that, okay, first everything you have to convert in lowercase and then only you have to give to a particular function. So yes, this is a case of this. But like he's also saying that if it is can, but my question is, if you convert into lowercase, then what is the problem? My question is that. Suppose this is a starting part of the sentence. Got your point. But in the back end, just try to convert in lowercase. Try to convert lowercase and try to give it the correct output. That's it. Getting my point? The person who asked me the doubt. So they can be this. I know that this text block should be smart enough to understand everything, but yes, behind the scene it's a coding, right? It's not a human sitting behind the scene. So you have to give a particular syntax for that. So what I'm saying is, just give this, take from the user the word, try behind the scene, try to convert it into lowercase, and then try to give the correct answer. Getting my point? So it will not correct this, right? Can, it will be can as it is. Getting my point?
Yes, yes.
Yes, so yes, so that you can do behind the scene. So that problem is solved now. So it will give you the proper output.
Also, do we remove the stop words over here? Or it's like a use case based decision.
Okay, so stop word. So so it's a use case based, right? If you want a proper thing, then why you have to remove the stop words? Basically, if you're writing this sentence, you want a proper sentence, right? So you don't have to remove the stop word. So it's a use case based, you can say. Yes, Nikhil. So just copying the word that you have given, copying the sentence you have given. So copy, paste. Okay, now try to see. Now go to spell check and try to give that particular word individually and try to see that which is the highest possibility word. So which is the highest possibility word? So newsy. Okay, so lowercase, right? So you have done a lowercase. So N and this is Z. So which is the highest probability you're getting? Newer. That's why it's trying to replace newsy with newer. And LAN. Copy, paste, run this. Now which is the highest probability? And is the highest probability, right? So it is trying to write that. So that's why you're getting output like this. Yeah.
Okay. So every time it is checking each word's probability and
Yes.
spell check, and then it is giving us the output as the sentence.
Yes. So highest word will be the answer for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is what happens in the Google Cloud also. So what they do, sorry, not Google Cloud, when you use Grammarly, so they first try to, if the auto spelling is correct, they try to first change that according to the highest probability, and if you're not satisfied, then they try to give 3 options, right? So this is what they try to do behind the scene. So
if you see that Grammarly, every sentence, if you put that comma, you have to give the space. This is the rules of English, I think. So otherwise, it is considered as a one word, as we seen couple of colleagues also feeling that same thing, right?
Yes. So basically, see, Grammarly, they have a very big team and they are very expert. So they have trained a very huge model on that behind the scene. Yeah. So like Google, Grammarly has also invested and they have made a very huge model where you have to follow the English properly, and they have given. We can actually do that if you know deep learning in NLP. You can also build your own Grammarly. It's very easy. The only thing is you need a computation power and data. That's it.
Okay.
You can also do that same thing. So this is just a small library, so that's why many errors are there in this, as you can see. So basically, it's some kind of set of syntax only they want. So if we are giving that, then it will try to give the proper output. For example, they want everything in lowercase, but we are giving this can in a
and it is checking each word only. It is not checking whether the sentence is useful for that word or not.
No. Each word. It is not. If you type Penny's, my name is. I love to play Czechoslovakia. Then also it will give. It will try to correct only the each word. It will not try to correct the sentence. So yes. So spelling correction and spell check is clear to everyone. So now you can create a number of applications with the help of spell check and spelling correction also.
Afsan, I have one question. Like in Google, if we write something and that is like for us it is a correct word, but for Google it is a wrong word. It gives an option like add to the dictionary. Is it possible with this?
In this, no.
Even in stop words, we we can append the words, right? Which yes. It is not available here also?
See, stop word is nothing but a list, right? So you can append there, but here is not a list, because you have to. So suppose you're writing some word, add to a dictionary. So in this, it is not possible to do that. Okay, so what you can do is you can create one more list and check in this also and check in this list also. If both the words are present in both the list, then try to give the correct output. So this you can do, but in the list, what they are doing behind the scene, in that list is not possible.
Okay.
So that is not possible.
Yes.
Now this is the one more use case that you can do. So total we have seen the 3 to 4 use cases, right, with the simple functions. So if you're good in Flask, which I have shown in deployment, you can deploy this particular stuff with the Flask also. Now one more use case, what you can do is there's something called as translation. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by translation?
Convert one language to another language.
Convert one language to another language. Okay, let's try to take one language, and the language is blob equal to text blob. Something is better than nothing. Let's try to convert this into Hindi. Okay, let's see what happens. So blob dot translate. And inside this, you have to type the language that you want to convert to. Okay, so if I do 2 equal to, I want to do in HI, that is Hindi. So if I run this, so this is the Hindi translation for that. Kuch nahi se kuch bhala. You can do vice versa also. Okay, so if I change this and if I copy this text and if I paste here and if I convert this back to English, okay, so this is something is better than nothing. So this is what a translation does behind the scene. So behind the scene, what they are using Google Translator only. Okay, so if you go on Google and if you type Google Translator. So this is using this behind. So they are using this particular model behind the scene. That's it. So this is what they are doing. So select the language in which you want to translate and type something and it will get translated. This is what they are doing. So the same thing they are using in this translate also. So behind the scene, they are calling the Google API. That's it. Okay, so let's try to convert this into Chinese. Okay, let's try to convert this. Something is better than nothing into Chinese. So to zh.cn. So this is the Chinese version of something is better than nothing. Okay, so you can do the reverse also, of course. So just come here, copy this, paste here. I want to convert to Hindi. Let's see the Hindi version of this first, from Chinese to Hindi. If I run this, it is कुछ नहीं से कुछ से अच्छा, कुछ भी नहीं से अच्छा है. So it's changing the bit, and let's try to give English. It's better than nothing.
Lost.
Yeah, so
Is it ENG or EN?
So I think it is taking EN. It's EN also is better than nothing. ENG is also better than nothing. Let's try to see with the Google Translator, same thing also. Okay. So let's detect a language. So where is Chinese?
it's in C above.
Alphabetic order. So there is Chinese simplified and traditional. Okay. Okay. So let's copy this. Paste here. Something is better than nothing. Now here it is coming properly, but there is not coming properly. I don't know why. Okay, so let's go there. Actually, it should work. Let's see. So to English. Sorry.
Convert that text to Hindi.
Let's try with you. Okay, it's better than nothing. The text is something is better than nothing. Is Chinese is this. If we try to take this, copy, paste. Okay, it's not working somehow, but in Google Translate it's working. So I think they have given us a cheap API to work with. That's the only thing what I can say. They're not giving their advanced IP. They're giving their free cost IP to us, basically. So that is what is happening, I think. So something better than nothing. This is what it is. So let's try to do in Hindi. कुछ नहीं से अच्छा है. So this is we are getting correct. कुछ भी नहीं से अच्छा है. But English, okay, now the English can be different variation also, right? So let's try to see E there. Now we have English and okay, anyways. Okay, so I don't know what is happening because for Hindi is giving correct, for English is giving different. I don't know what is happening, but yeah. कुछ बेहतर से तो कुछ नहीं to English. Okay, so this is a Google translation behind it, basically. So you can just play with this, okay? In a free time, you can just play with this.
It's
so
converting the meaning itself.
Yeah, it's converting the meaning. I got, but I don't know what is what type of API they're giving behind the scenes. So yes, so this is what is happening. But you understood what the translate does, right? Which function is to use to translate a particular thing into another thing. That is clear. And we can't control this now. Now it is giving different. We can't control this because in the PPT also I've written clearly that it is powered by Google Translate. So you can't just put your own model. Okay, it is powered by Google Translate by default. So it is the Google API. So what Google is giving us, it is trying to give that output. So we can't control this. But yes, you can create a small application because it is not that bad also. It is not that bad also. You can just create an application with this. So this is clear to everyone.
Yes.
And Afsan,
yes.
One thing is how we will get to know the codes like.
So basically, you have to search on net. Yeah. So you have to check all the
Okay.
language code for. So language code for text block. So language code for text block. So you have to check like this. Okay, so there is no particular library to check all the language codes. So you have to check like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so you will get. So just click on this. So some of the block they have mentioned the language code. So let's see. Okay, this is. I also don't know. Basically, means I don't know in the sense I will search on the net, but that there is no direct function to check all the language codes. So see, this is the language code. Can you see?
Yes.
So I
Okay.
am using EN, right? So where is EN? Let me check. EN is English. Okay, so yes. So you can convert into your own particular language in which you want to convert.
Okay.
So I will just copy this and paste in the chat. So you can everyone just can go through it, and they have given the example also, which I have also given. But if you want a new example, you can just check from the spell check and everything. So you can just check from here. Okay, great. Now the next thing is that text blobs are like Python strings. Okay, so you can do whatever thing. So let's do one thing. Copy. Paste. And if I do text of 0 to 5 in a string, what will happen? So if I do 15, what will happen? In a string, suppose there is a string. So text is not a text block, text is a string. So what will happen if you do this?
By indexing, it will give you that data.
Yeah, so 0 to 14, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Yes.
So this is all not, this will also be the same thing. Okay, so this text is nothing but a so it will follow all the Python strings. Function that you have studied, this will be also so text is nothing but a so text block will work as a Python string. So if you want to convert anything into uppercase, what do you do? In a string?
Text dot upper.
Upper.
So you have to do text dot upper. So everything is followed here. Okay, there's no if you run this, see everything will be in an uppercase. So text blob are like a Python string. So if I want to find a particular word, how to do that? I want to know the index of starting index of word simple. How to do that? If you remember.
Dot index of.
Text dot index. Okay, there's something called as find also if you remember.
Right, find.
So if you put simple and it will basically not give anything because S is capital. So simple and it gives the index value. So everything what you have learned is perfectly same as text blob also. So text blob is nothing but it acts as a Python string only behind the scene. Now one more use case, not a very good use case, but you can just modify this based on your particular thing. So text summarization. So what I will do is summarization. So everyone, I will give you one text in a chat box. So just check your chat box. I'll give you one text. Just try to extract all the nouns from here. Just try to extract all the noun from this particular text and try to give me the output. This is a task to everyone. Okay, so basically I've given a text. Just give me the noun. Just extract all the noun words from the text and try to give me the output. Okay, so
I've said, can you please check?
Okay, so you have said, okay, let me check. Where you have, okay, in here, okay, got it. Okay, sorry, format will be different. So the first thing is I have to put the text.
You have to put the text.
Election Commission Assam BJP. Okay, So this is what you can do. Okay, I'm not saying that this is a perfect one. So you can do a text summarization. So just take a particular document and try to extract all the nouns, phrases. So again, I'm saying it is not a proper one. Just by example. Okay. So from this particular words, you can understand. Okay, this particular documentation is about election and it is related to election, right? So can you see the word and can you just tell me that what is this particular text is about? It's about election and
Election
it is,
of the Assam Ministry of BJP.
yeah. So something you can just do a summarization, right? So this is one use case that you can also do. So this is a simple use case, okay? Text summarization. I'm not saying that this is the perfect one, but yes, you can do this. Okay, this is what just to tell you that how to use different functions very easily in the text block. That's it. Now let's do interesting use case and let's build text classification system. Text classification system. Again, I'm saying everyone, so don't think that I'm skipping some part. Okay, this is a library which they've given. So what happens behind the scene, we will do each and everything in the later classes. Okay, when I will teach you more advanced steps, but in a real time, whenever you are trying to build something, to just instead of training your own model, you can use their model also, because it does the same thing what we'll do in the future. So it's a very fast and effective way also. So everyone, I have given two datas in your chat box. Just check. So one is a train data and one is a test data. So one is a train data and one is a test data. These two things I have given in a chat box. Just copy that and paste in your particular sheet. So this is the first one, train, and this is the data that I have for the test. Of course, I will explain your data. So the first, so this is a tuple. So this is a list of tuples. In the first tuple, the first element is I love the sandwich, and it is the target. What is the target? What is the sentiment of that particular sentence? So I love the sandwich is nothing but a positive sentence. This is an amazing place is a positive sentiment. So like this, I have written few of the sentences and I have written the particular target value for that. Same for the testing data also. Okay, now how to build a classification? It's very simple. So you have to do from text block dot classifiers import naive Bayes. So everyone knows what is naive Bayes classifier?
Yes.
Yeah, so we are using naive Bayes classifier to do a classification, and in a naive Bayes classifier, just pass the data. That's it. So which is the data? This is the data that I have, train. So just pass train here, TRA, train. When you run this, train is not defined because this is not run. Okay. Now when you run this, it is trained now. Now again, I will tell you that these things can be done with the CSV file also, JSON file also, and any TSP file also. So I will tell you how to do that. So basically, so you have to so for a CSV file, the data format should be something like this. This is the first. Okay, then this is the second. So the data should be like this in a CSV file. Okay, if your data is not like this, then it will not take a particular input. So it wants a particular input in a particular format. So if you are loading a CSV file, then yes, your CSV file should contain something like this in this particular format. Okay, now what is a JSON? Can you tell me what is a JSON file? Anyone has an idea about JSON file?
Key value pair.
Sorry.
Value pair, guys.
Yeah, basically key value pair.
Yeah.
So dictionary in other terms in JavaScript is called as JSON. So in what you have to do is if you're adding a JSON file, in a JSON file, the key should be text and the value should be particular thing. I love this sandwich. There should be two things. Okay, in each dictionary there should be a text and a label, and text and a label that a column name is a key and the value I love this sandwich and label is a position. So you have to maintain this particular data if you want to read this data. Then suppose if you have this format, so what you can do is how to open a JSON file with using file handling? Can anyone tell me? Or how to open a file basically? Suppose there's a txt file and you have to take, load the all data of txt file into a variable. How to do that?
For CSV, it is read CSV, but
No. Suppose there is no pandas you are using, then
okay.
With
Open.
Yeah. So with open and the JSON file name. So suppose there is something called as string.json. Then the next thing what you have to give here. So basically you give two things.
Read or
here,
write.
right? First, yeah, exactly. Read or write. Read or write. Okay. So basically what you're doing, you're writing in the file or you're reading in the file. So you're opening a file as a writing mode or a reading mode. So you have to give the mode.
Read.
That is the read mode. Okay.
Yes.
As FP is the alias that we are using. Then the simple thing what you have to do is you have to do CL. If your data is in a proper format, what you have to do? You have to do name by classifier. Inside this, just pass FP, that is a file name, and just tell the format, at which format it is. So it is a JSON format, you just type JSON here and done. Your classification is trained now. If this is a CSV file, you have to give format as CSV here. This is clear to everyone? But this data should be maintained. In a CSV file, this is how data should be, and this is in JSON file, this is how data should be. If this is maintained, then only you can perform this particular operation which I'm giving to you. So this is clear to everyone? Any
Yes.
doubts still here? So what I will do is I am just giving a normal data as a variable. So it's a list of tuple basically. So I have just trained the model, and how to classify. It's very simple. So it is cl.classify. cl.classify. That's it. So it is classify. Inside this, just write some text now. So okay. So this is an amazing library. Let's see what is the particular sentiment. So for you, what is the sentiment? If you see this, the sentiment is positive or negative?
Positive.
Let's see what our model tells. It is positive. This is a library. So what I will do is I will just change this to this is a negative sentence. I do not enjoy. Okay, so basically why it's not performing good? Because the amount of data what I'm giving is very less. And you know, if you want to train a good model, then the amount of data should be more, right? So yes, so this you can practice. You can try to add more data, or you can try to take out data from Kaggle and stuff like that, and you can train your own model also. So cl.classify will classify the particular thing. So basically it's not working properly with me because I have only this much data with me. So the accuracy, if you want to see the accuracy of the model also, you can check, I guess. So you have to check this, you have to do cl.accuracy and you have to pass the test data. Run this, and the accuracy of 0.833. Now a quick interview question. Whenever you are doing a classification problem, is the accuracy a good matrix to identify the model performance? Yes or no? I will repeat.
No.
If you are doing some kind of classification, is accuracy a good way to check whether a model performing or not?
No.
Why, and what is the best, and which is the best process?
We should check for precision and recall as well.
Okay, why not accuracy?
Because sometimes a good accuracy can be give us overfitting.
No.
Accuracy can involve even the false negatives as well.
Yes.
Okay, so basically what will happen? Now
Ayos.
suppose your data is imbalanced. Okay, and number of positive sentences are 900 and number of negative sentences are 100, and your model is giving all positive as correct. So 900 is correct. So what is the accuracy that you're getting?
I think
You're getting 90% of the accuracy. But is this correct or this is wrong, right? Because this 100 is also classifying as what? True.
positive. Yeah.
Positive. But the accuracy would have been 90%. So accuracy is not a good practice to identify whether your model is a perfect model or not. So you have to always go for true positive rate, false positive rate, false negative rate, and true negative rate.
True negative rate.
Yeah, so basically you have to see all the 4 values, and always the true positive rate and the false positive should be high, and FNR and TNR should be low. So basically you have to check the precision recall basically. Okay, so that's why it's 83%. But why 83%? Because my positive is more than negative, or my negative is more than positive. That is the case in the top. That's why accuracy is good, but my model is not performing good. So this is the interview question that many people ask. Okay, so yes.
Afsan, what if we balance the data set? So here, in case if it's imbalanced and if we balance it out, then in that case, both the classes would be evenly distributed, right?
Yeah, then the accuracy, you can go with the accuracy.
Okay.
You never go with accuracy when you are sure that your data is imbalanced.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yep. So yes, accuracy should be checked if your negative or the positives are almost equal. Okay, it is 55 and 45% like this. If it is 90 and 10%, then no, you have to always go with the precision recall. Okay, so that's why we have something called as confusion matrix, and that is for that purpose only. So yes, so this is what a particular classification is. So you can try your own model. You can try to create your own model. Again, I'm saying we will try to see what happens behind the scene, each and everything step by step. This is just a library they are giving, so I want to just tell you that what happens behind the scene. That's it. And one more thing is that how to update the things. Okay, so suppose there's a new data. So I will take this as a new data. Okay, for now, suppose this test is a new data. So there's a function called as update. So cl.update. So it will retrain the model again based on the new data. So new data, just run this. It is true. True means it's trained. Now check that. So now what will be the accuracy? Can anyone tell me? If I do the accuracy on test data, what will be the accuracy? If I'm not wrong, it will be 1. Okay, let me check. It is 1. Can you tell me why it is 1?
Because we have already trained with the data.
Yes, because this data we are training. So this test data is nothing but a seen data by the model.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what's giving the accuracy. That's why we do the split called as train test split, and we have to always test the model on unseen data. That's why we do a train test split. Okay, so that's just a quick information. That's it. So this is the end of a TextBlob library. So it's clear to everyone.